Greetings, friends. Welcome back to my channel. Let's look at these three JPY pairs, which I think will be selling in the first quarter or even the first half of this year. And then the last quarter of the year or the last half of the year is likely to go bullish. And when buyers take control, we shall again have a long-term buying opportunity. So we are beginning with AUDJPY. We can see that we have this equidistant channel line pattern, this being the upper line, this being the lower line. And I'm using a weekly chart to get a bigger view of this analysis. So we are using equidistant channel line patterns as well as major key levels. So this is the upper line of the equidistant channel line pattern that is going up. This is the lower line. And we can see that on a weekly chart, AUDJPY has been strongly bullish for so many months. Actually, we can see that since March 2020. So these are 5 years of a bullish pattern that we can witness in this case. And then we can see that around March 2024, sellers started stepping in and pushing price to the downside, whereby we can see again that we have now this minor equidistant channel line pattern going to the downside. So in my opinion, the bullish trend is still strong on a weekly chart, and therefore to me this is a flag, and which flag is likely to eventually turn into another bullish pattern. So of course now we can see that this is the upper line of the flag on a weekly chart, and this is the lower line of the flag on a weekly chart. And now this is an equidistant channel line pattern that is pushing to the downside. So for me, as long as price is still operating below this upper line of the equidistant channel line pattern, the chances to buy are not there. And therefore, I will be looking for selling opportunities on lower time frame, since this is a weekly chart, because it's highly likely that we shall see price continuing into this key level here. And then if possible, we may see being broken and price may penetrate this zone. Which zone? We can see that on the left side here, it happened to be a consolidation zone. So in my opinion, if price comes and breaks this level, most likely it will be getting stuck into this consolidation zone, which we have noted here. So it's highly likely that price will begin bouncing between 86 and 77, that territory, until we will see buyers stepping in and pushing us or pushing price above this upper line of the equidistant channel line pattern. So to me, when price breaks and successfully and consistently closes above the upper line of the equidistant channel line pattern on a weekly chart, this which we have drawn with a red color. So if price closes above this very well and consistently, then most likely buyers will be taking control again to push price above this level, come and take out this level and even print a new higher high on a weekly chart. So as I said, we are now looking for selling opportunities, but I would like to see a pullback on lower time frame, and then I'll be looking for sales, believing that price will come to this level around 86, and if possible, penetrate the zone between 86 and 77, and that's when I'll begin looking for potential chances of having this level of the equidistant channel line pattern broken. So as I said, the first half of this year is likely going to be bearish, and then the last half or the last quarter of this year is the one which I expect to give us this move to the upside. So let's look at the second pair. This is CADJPY. So CADJPY also behaves like the one we have just seen, which is AUDJPY. So we can see that we have this strong equidistant channel line pattern going up. It's again a weekly chart. This is the upper line, this is the lower line. So we can see that since 2020, around May or even March, price has been going up for all these years. And now we can see that later on in 2024, around May, price started collapsing. We had this collapse, and then price broke this equidistant channel line pattern from the lower end, which again we have seen on the first pair which I shared. If you realize, you'll find that this equidistant channel line pattern was broken before we could determine that price will be pushing the downside for some time. So even here, we can see that price had this strong move to the downside, and then later on, the first break happened here, and price moved up on a weekly chart. Again, recently we saw price breaking and closing below this equidistant channel line pattern that was going up. So as of now, price is well trading below the equidistant channel line pattern that was going up, or below the lower line of the equidistant channel line pattern that was bullish. And therefore, in my opinion, it's highly likely that the sellers will be in control for some time, and then we shall eventually get more buying pressure that will be taking us up to come and take out this level and print a new higher high. But first, we take note of this equidistant channel line pattern that is marked with red lines, whereby this is the upper line and this is the lower line. So as long as price is still bouncing within this these two lines, the upper one and the lower one, so for me, I believe that sellers will still be in control. So we are highly likely going to see sellers continue pushing to the downside. And for me, I believe that since this level has already shown some weaknesses and has been broken, most likely price will be coming to this level, which is around 94 price territory. So if price comes into this territory, we may see buyers stepping in and pushing us or pushing price up to come and break this upper line of the equidistant channel line pattern, after which we may now begin buying. But if price continues into this zone, we can again take note that on the left side, this has been a consolidation zone. So if price penetrates into this zone, again, we will continue holding our selling orders if we get them. Of course, I believe we shall get a pullback on lower time frame, and then we shall be able to sell. So once we see price penetrating this zone, obviously, as I said, we shall be, of course, paying a lot of attention to the buying pressure which is expected. And in my opinion, this is likely to be in the last half of this year or even the last quarter of this year. That's when we shall be able to get some buying momentum that will be able to take a price above this equidistant channel line pattern. And for me, that together, if it can break and then also show consistency, or it consistently trades above the upper line of the equidistant channel line pattern, then we shall be looking for this buying opportunity, believing that price will come to break this level and print a new higher high on a weekly chart. So this is CADJPY, and now let's look at the last pair. So the last pair in this video is New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen. So we can again see that we have this major equidistant channel pattern on a weekly chart, whereby price kept pushing up and down, but consistently bullish. And then recently, we saw actually even in 2024, that's when we saw this strong move to the downside, which broke the equidistant channel pattern that was going up. So after breaking it, we can see that since then, price kept bouncing from the same line, going to the downside, and it has never entered the same equidistant channel pattern another time. So what we can take note of now is that price has started moving to the downside within this minor equidistant channel pattern, which again, I said that it is likely going to turn into a flag. So we can see that price is bouncing from up, down, up, and then I believe that in the nearby future, we will get a pullback on lower time frame, and we shall be able to sell. And after selling, we will believe that price will continue to bounce within these two lines, the lower one and the upper one. Price will likely continue to bounce from this or from within this equidistant channel pattern, while selling until it will reach this level around 74, or even break it and continue into this other zone between 74 and 68. But as long as it is trading below this upper line of the equidistant channel pattern on a weekly chart, we will continue to look for sales. And once eventually the upper line of the equidistant channel pattern gets broken and price consistently trades above it on a weekly chart, we will begin looking for buying opportunities, believing that price will come to break this recent or the last higher high, and that's is what is expected. So most likely this move to the downside will take the first half of this year, and then the last half will be the one going up, or even it can go into the season after the last half, and we may see the buying opportunity coming towards the end of the year, so in the last quarter of the year. So that's how we shall be trading these three pairs. And as I talk on lower time frame, daily chart, especially daily chart, I'm looking for a serious pullback. In other words, I'm looking for some bullish pressure on a daily chart and 4-hour chart, which should be able to psychologically confuse the buyers. And then after that has been shown, I'll be looking for selling opportunities to take this move, which move should take me for the whole of the first half of this year, or even beyond that, until we will see price close above this equidistant channel pattern and trade consistently above it. We are only looking for selling opportunities. Once that happens, that's when we shall begin looking for buying opportunities. And as I said, all of these three pairs, you can realize that we are expecting selling opportunities for the first half of, for at least the first half of this year, and then only we shall begin looking for buying opportunities in the second half or even in the last quarter of the year. Otherwise, that's it, and let's keep watching, and we see how they will be performing.